When you hate something, ask yourself a question. In this world, whether something or someone makes you happy or sad, it's all determined by your values. Last week in Shenzhen, I chatted with a friend from Tokyo on WeChat and said, I'll be back in Tokyo soon. The friend said, You've only been to Tokyo for over a month, and you're already talking about going back to Tokyo. Only then did I realize that I had adapted to a new city so quickly. Before this, I found it difficult to adapt to a new city. Maybe it's because of the environment, business because of traffic. Isn't having these two things enough? But on the day I decided to move to Tokyo, I decided to like it. So I will pay special attention to discovering the beauty of Tokyo. I always see many people complaining about the city they are in, whether they are happy or not. It seems like they will go crazy if they stay one more day. Please note that they are not criticizing a city. Criticism is based on goodwill, and I like it, so I tease it. They are complaining based on disgust and resentment, as if this city is the archenemy, the evil, and the big boss that hinders their survival. They curse it, criticize it, and despise it. But they won't leave, even if they stay for 10 years. This kind of I'm not happy with you, but I won't leave you state is ridiculous. Actually, I used to be like that too. When I was in college, I went to a city that I completely disliked. Every day, I complained about everything bad in this city. Going out to eat, oh my gosh, the food here is so bad, I want to die. Going shopping, it's too uninteresting here. Then one day, my local roommate couldn't stand it and said, If you dislike it so much, why don't you leave? Who the hell asked you to stay here? Well said. Years later, I really want to go back in time and applaud this roommate. Really, since I disliked that city so much, I should have left. Applied to go to another city, applied to be an exchange student. There are so many ways, any one of them is better than complaining. Is there any benefit to doing nothing but sitting there and complaining, besides showing your stupidity and incompetence? When the roommate said that, I deeply reflected on how stupid I was. I never complained again. I rediscovered that city and found its lovely side. When you hate the city you are in, ask yourself, do you want to leave it? If not, then find its advantages and accept it. Isn't it the same for love? A few years ago, I had a colleague who was a super nice guy. He always had this cheesy look and asked everyone, Miss, do you want to take a walk with me? It's cute when Crayon Shin-chan does it, but it's creepy when he does it. And his girlfriend, she would argue with him about this every day. For example, sitting in a cafe, the girlfriend found out that the boyfriend was flirting with someone through text, so she poured a glass of water over him. We, his friends, wanted to laugh but couldn't, feeling very uncomfortable. For example, walking on the street, the girlfriend knew that the boyfriend had another person's phone number, so she slapped him in public. Should we pretend we didn't see it? For example, sometimes when the guy was working, the girlfriend would run into our office and shout, You jerk! Who is that slut you just added to your Weibo? At that time, we all said that this guy was really a jerk, and his girlfriend was being driven mad by him. A female colleague didn't see it this way. She said, He is your man. Since you've chosen him, you should accept his shortcomings. If you don't want to accept, don't want to tolerate, are you in love or seeking death? When in love, think about what you love most about him. Do you love his tenderness, his good looks, his money? Any of these will do, but at the same time, can you accept his other shortcomings? If you can, then stay together well. Don't try to change his shortcomings because often strengths and weaknesses are bundled together. A family-oriented man often lacks ambition and doesn't have much money. A successful person often neglects his family, not because he doesn't want to, but because he really doesn't have that much time. After figuring out what you want, you have to accept the accompanying shortcomings. I've said before, many times we are with someone because of their strengths, but we have to deal with their weaknesses for a lifetime. That's marriage. When you hate your partner, ask yourself, will you divorce him because of his shortcomings? No. Then accept it. For example, a female friend always complained to me that her husband loves playing games when he gets home from work every day, and she argues with him about it every day. I asked, Are you going to divorce him because he plays games? She looked at me in surprise. Of course not. He didn't cheat on me. Exactly, since you won't divorce him for this. Why bother arguing with him every day? Besides making both of you unhappy, what's the point? Try to think more about his other good points, tolerate this shortcoming, and your marriage will be much better. At least your moods will improve. After a while, she came to me and said, "Damn, it really works." She no longer dwells on her husband playing games, no longer picks at it, thinks more about his good points, and their relationship is much better. Even the happiness in the bedroom has increased. Her exact words were, "I had a happy time last week. Wow, it was great." It's the same with work. When you hate your job, ask yourself, are you going to quit? I can't understand why so many people complain about their jobs every day, as if this job is like being in prison, suffering, and being abused. Then why don't you get another job? If all your colleagues are scheming, your boss is an idiot, and the work you do is worthless, why don't you change jobs? If you don't, it means you deserve this kind of job. Either think about why you haven't changed, it must have its advantages and places you can't leave. So discover more of the job's advantages and focus on it, and realize self-improvement. If you can't find any advantages, then change jobs. You didn't sign a contract to sell yourself, so what's the use of whining and complaining? Do I hate it so much that I want to leave it? This is a universal sentence. It can help you solve many problems. Whether it's about the city, love, work, many things in life can be approached with this principle. Either try to like it or try to change it. This should be the best attitude in life. As I said, in this world, whether something or someone makes you happy or sad, it's all determined by your value. By changing your mindset, life will be much broader.